Jolly, good morning to you. This is TMI Socials. Always a pleasure to know that you are there. Welcome to the street that never ever sleeps. We're talking about social media. Anyway, my name is Anu Oluwako Stevens, and you can call me a social media butterfly. So for a while now, on the street of social media, hashtag end bad governance has been trending online as regards to, protests to happen in August. But just recently, the FCT Commissioner of Police, Bennett Igweh, has called on residents and indigenes not to partake in the nationwide protest. Now, some groups and citizens had scheduled a nationwide protest for August 1st in response to the economic hardship in the country. However, the FCT CP, while speaking with journalists in Abuja on Monday, urged residents to shun the protest. Has stated that the police have made significant efforts to ensure security in the FCT, adding that the protest could jeopardize it. Now let's listen to Bennett and hear what he has to say.
I have lost men. Last week alone in Gidandogo, I lost two policemen. The other day, I lost two again. Let our loss pray for the protest. I want to plead with you. We don't need you to be in the streets before somebody will say he is trying the police might. Or you will say, go and say, Igwe did this, Igwe did that. Please, don't destroy where you are living. If you check, the government have provided good roads. You remember on the 23rd of June, 2024, I did show you.
Now let's get your reactions to this particular story. This user says, they are saying there is hunger in the land. You are saying they built good roads and you lost a man. Sure, you and your men know they enter markets, buy food. Abi, now no get family. That's what this guy is asking there. And another thought still on this user says, Mr. Commissioner, are you really happy with the situation of things? Or are you just doing your job? That's a big question right there. And then this one, Cheat Flash says, why are you all scared of this protest? If Tinubu is on the other side of the opposition, will he say no to protest? Well, finally on the story, DJ Spicy says, we talking hunger and hardship in the land, and you are talking about good roads and losing men for a good cause. So the protest itself isn't about an even greater cause? That's what he is asking. Well, still in this bit, now here's a throwback moment when Tinubu, the president, called Nigerians to come out for a protest during Jonathan's regime. Take a look.
That is what they are doing with your money. Not enough that they are stealing from our children tomorrow for lack of investment in education. They are still embezzling the retirement benefit of hardworking Nigeria, including our grandfathers. They are stealing the pot.
Now, in the meantime, the Nigerian government has said the era of buying premium motor spirits, also known as fuel, between 750 naira to 1,000 naira per litre is over, as it will commission 30,000 compressed natural gas powered vehicles in the next 60 days, in the next 90 days rather. Now, this particular person, the project director and chief executive officer of the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, Michael Oluwagbemi, disclosed this during the Park to Park CNG mobilization program in Lagos on Saturday. Well, he went ahead to say that the initiative is expected to gulp 36 billion naira for 30,000 CNG conversion kits for distribution free of charge nationwide within this period. Now let's see how netizens reacted to this online. Moving over to reaction, this user says they don't carry another 36 billion common for Nigeria pockets. Why not spend that 36 billion to fix out refineries so fuel can come down? That's what this user is saying. And another one says it's the gas that will be 230, not petrol. But this is a volatile risk. While other countries are going electric, we are going gas canisters. I feel the cost of implementing is too much, 30 billion naira. They should use that to subsidize fuel, this user is saying. And finally on this story, this user, Julie MK7, says, I missed when petrol was 125 per liter. Your big keg will fill for 5K. The good old days, indeed. Indeed, the good old days. Well, away from that now, still on the petroleum saga, yesterday we saw the Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Heineken Lukpobiri, and other stakeholders, having a meeting with the chairman and CEO of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, over the issues surrounding the Dangote refinery. Well, Dangote and Nigeria's regulatory authorities have been in dispute in recent weeks online over the refinery located in the Igbeju Lekki area of Lagos State. Now let's have the tweet that the Minister of State Petroleum Resources had yesterday. And then he analyzed everything that did, happen during the course of the meeting. Well, let's see how you reacted to this one on social media. Let's take a look. Mr. Ebony is saying this is quite proactive from the minister. This is what we hoped to see, and it is refreshing to see. Another user has something else to say. Daily Justice says, this so-called intervention is a distraction. Your statement lacks particularization. You intervene to achieve what? Where is the Minister of Petroleum? He is asking. And then finally on this, King Emeka says, the meeting was unnecessary. You have sabotaged in your commissions that should be fired. You are the minister. Take action so others will comply. Now, moving over to another story that made the round on social. So yesterday, it was reported that a particular lawmaker gifted his child a beautiful, amazing new SUV vehicle. Well, the wife of the Plateau State House of Representative member have come out to blast Nigerians for criticizing her husband for buying a new sport utility vehicle for her daughter Aisha as a secondary school graduation gift. And of course, she went ahead to say that they have the money to spend, so let them spend it. Let's see how you reacted to this one. But just before that, let's have the tweet with what she said on socials. Now, that was what she commented as regards the lambasting. She says, if you want to give information, you should get your facts right. It's a 2021 model. And yes, it is equally expensive. And yes, we are proud of our child as she did very well in school. And yes, we bought her a car because we can afford it. But no, this car wasn't bought with constituency money or any government allocated funds for the people. If you don't believe, kindly argue with your ancestors. And of course, social media users dragged her on this. Let's take some reactions to this story. Gelly is saying, the daughter looks 25. She deserves to own a car. If you have the money, yourself will get for your child. Are you sure? Another user says, politics aside, as a parent, if I can afford it, why can't I buy a car for my child? Really? Okay, now one more reaction on this. This user is saying, well, Lila is a billionaire and so is her husband. But still, if the car was bought with constituency money or from government pockets, will she tell? And of course, the answer is a big no. Only you ask the question, and of course you're given the reaction and the response already. Well, away from that, my final story for you for today would be a trending video of a Tanzanian president who was on transit with her cohort. Take a look.
Yo, msafara wa rais huo, Mama Samia Suluhu. Ondoa Suluhu. Huyo baba bake. What's up?
So just in case you do not understand, that was a trending video of the Tanzanian president, Samia Suluhu, and her convoy. So the cars kept on coming and coming and coming non-stop. But let's take two reactions on this one. Sweet Leaks official says, funny how all African presidents and politicians have the same characteristics. They act alike, no difference. And finally, on the story, this user is saying, but the British Prime Minister normally moves with 3 vehicles at most of the time 2. Even King of the UK sometimes moves with a single car and power bike. Well, it seems to be a different case here, you know, in the African continent. Philip?
Well, quite awesome. And I think a whole lot needs to be said as regards if you get a car, then it means that you got to fuel it. It's one thing for you to drive, it's another thing for you to fuel. Because I was going through this challenge, you know, yesterday. You know, I was almost asking myself, how many liters of fuel can I buy to get me to the next location? Well, I really love the reaction of one of the, you know, those who contributed, who I said, it cannot forget the good old days where a liter was 125 naira per liter.
Imagine
you got 5,000, you're going to have a full keg.
But right now,
it's something else.
It's totally different. And what do you think about the protest coming up, you know, in August?
Oh, well, I would believe that, you know, the people have the right to protest, but as long as it's peaceful, we must ensure it's peaceful. But if there is anything that the government can do to keep people from this protest by making sure that they churn out economic policies, well, just a few days' time will not be enough to do that. But I think a whole lot needs to be done by the government to tackle this headlong.
Absolutely.
Well, this is much we can take on to this TMI. Big thanks for taking part of this. We'll see you sometime tomorrow on TMI. Keep it.